So, Mike, cats.
Yes.
Yes. Cats.
I know what those are. When you say one,
Meow.
I can picture one.
Yes.
I have one at home.
Just one?
I have scratches on my arms from playing with him. Just one these days. I've had a couple at the same time, but just one these days. And this is very interesting. We're going to be talking about popular cat breeds or types of cat. I have to admit, I've had cats my whole life, but I could not tell you what any of their breeds were. I think they were all mixed.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. I know a lot of people go out and buy a special breed of cat, but I've always had a mixed breed.
Me too.
The dog would be a mutt, right? But I don't think we really call cats mutts. But one of my favorite cats when I was a kid, my mom told me, oh, she's a mixed breed. So I called her Mixie.
Oh, that's nice.
Didn't know that was where the name came from, but I didn't really kind of get what the whole idea was. And she was an absolutely lovely cat.
There you go.
Lots of people are cat people. Lots of people are dog people. Most people don't fit into the category of both, but I'm sure a fair few still do. And cats are perfect companions. The noise a cat makes, right? The PERFECT is the way it should be spelled. So we're making a play on a word here for a noise that a cat makes with its purr.
Kind of like that.
Oh, that is a good
that's my little purr.
Lovely
When I purr around my cat, he is completely unimpressed.
Yeah, he doesn't
go,
look at you.
Oh, wow, what a good purr, mister.
Cat personality.
Like, what are you doing there? But yes, they are often perfect companions. I believe in Taiwan, cats and dogs are almost at the same level. There actually might be more cats in homes now in Taiwan because they're good for apartment living. But as Leah said, different breeds, different types of cats or categories of cats. And this is something that's very important to breeders, to cat shows, to people who are sort of looking for special cats with special appearances to them, different features in their size and their hair and their face shape. This kind of thing can be important to people. And it's also interesting that not only do different cat breeds look different physically, but they also have different personalities. I found that the most interesting thing in this article. So we're going to be looking at that. If anyone is in the market for a cat, hoping to maybe bring a nice furry four-legged creature into your home, this could be a quick guide to it. But I think Leah and I would also agree that just getting a mixed breed cat from your local animal shelter and not paying any money for it or anything like that, that is perfectly fine too. Some of these special cat breeds can be very expensive. And I think there is a scientific reason to believe that the mixed breeds cats are often healthier because sometimes the purebred cats, the ones that are in a certain breed, their parentage is often a little questionable. Like you have cousins, having babies together and that kind of thing. So, this is something that you should not necessarily use as a buyer's guide, but just as an interesting sort of interesting look into the different types of cats out there, both how they look different and how they act different.
Let's take a moment first before we get into today's article to listen to the whole thing one time. Cats are companions with distinct personalities, each one adding its own unique touch to a home. Whether it's a playful leap or a gentle purr, their presence fills homes with warmth and wonder. Every breed carries a story and a special charm that continues to fascinate cat lovers around the world. Known as America's breed, the American Shorthair is famous for its calm and playful nature. These cats are highly adaptable and thrive in any environment, making them ideal pets for families. Not only are they gentle around children, but they also get along well with other pets. Their independent yet affectionate temperament makes them perfect for working households. However, don't expect them to be lap cats all the time. They enjoy attention on their own terms. To keep their thick coats in good condition, occasional brushing is recommended. Elegant and laid-back, Persian cats have charmed cat lovers for centuries. With their sweet expressions and long, luxurious fur, they represent both beauty and tranquility. Originating in ancient Persia, these cats require daily grooming to maintain their thick coats. Persians are content to lounge for hours, making them excellent companions for those who prefer a quiet pet. Although loving, they are reserved, often requiring time to bond deeply with their families. With their wild, leopard-like appearance, Bengal cats bring a touch of the jungle into your home. Originally bred from Asian leopard cats, they have a muscular build and striking coats that grab attention. Despite their exotic looks, they are devoted, intelligent, and energetic. Bengals love to explore, climb, and even play in water, making them a delight for active owners. Their curious and social nature ensures they remain engaging companions. Cats are companions with distinct personalities, each one adding its own unique touch to a home. So they're buddies, they're friends, they're companions, they're pals. And they have distinct personalities. They have unique personalities. They have things that stick out about their personalities. If you call someone, if you say someone has a distinct personality, it normally means they have something that is very special or unique about them. It might be just in the way that they look. Sometimes they have very distinct features, like a very strong nose or very prominent lips or very big earlobes or something like that. So that might be a distinct feature on their face, something that sticks out. But a lot of times distinct personalities are just like these very special, unique personalities that stand out a little bit. And cats definitely have unique personalities.
Oh, yeah.
So whether it's a playful leap or a gentle purr, their presence fills homes with warmth and wonder. If you've ever heard a cat purr, as Mike did for us earlier, I've heard that
it's only because you scratched me behind my ears. I always love it when you scratch me behind my ears, Leah.
That is so good. That's fun. The purr, they've said that purr creates a resonance wave that is very healing to people when the cat's sitting on your lap. I don't know if that's true, but I love the idea of it. It also normally shows that your cat is really genuinely pretty happy, although there are some cats, as we do have these distinctive personalities in cats, that can purr at you 1 minute and scratch the crud out of you the next minute.
Absolutely.
Every breed carries a story and a special charm that continues to fascinate cat lovers around the world. And as we talked about, mixed breed cats also have their special stories and have their very special charms or things that make you go, oh, isn't that cute? And mixed breed cats also fascinate cat lovers around the world. My cats have always fascinated me, mixed breed as they are.
There you go. So let's have a look at some of the more well-known ones, some of the more popular ones too. You guys, I'm sure, have some pictures there in your magazine. You can also find pictures of these cats online with no problem. So let's see what we're going to talk about here. It says, known as America's breed, okay, the American Shorthair. So that's the name of the breed. That's why you have capital letters there. It's also kind of a description of it, but that's the name of it, the American Shorthair. And it's basically a cat. When I see an American Shorthair, what's that? Like it's a cat.
White, silver, black.
It doesn't really
cream,
have
brown,
the
red.
distinctive features that some of the other ones we'll be looking at today, but it is a breed. So the American Shorthair is famous for its calm and playful nature. Sounds like a pretty good standard for a house pet. It's calm, it's playful, it's not going to bite you all the time, it's not just going to sleep 23 hours a day or anything like that. So yeah, a pretty good standard typical cat. It says these cats are highly adaptable and thrive in any environment, making them ideal pets for families. So adaptable, that means it can live almost anywhere. It can be an apartment cat, it can live in a house, it can live on a farm. It can thrive in any environment. I'm sure you can find them from Alaska to Hawaii and everywhere else in between. And they're ideal pets for families. It says not only are they gentle around children, but they also get along well with other pets. So this is a big question, often for people with young kids. The kids might want to have a pet, and I think we know this with dogs, like golden retrievers are very good with kids, but maybe if you have a terrier, a bull terrier, it might be a little aggressive for kids, or Chihuahuas might be a little nervous around young children or something like that. But the American Shorthair, gentle around children. If the kids pull on its ears a little bit and hug it a little bit too hard, the cat's not going to scratch and bite or anything like that. And they get along well with other pets. So if you have other cats or dogs in your home, those will be fine. They'll be friendly. And perhaps even if you have fish in a tank or in a bird in a cage, the cat might not decide that eating that animal is the most important thing in its life. It just gets along well. It's a friendly cat. It's a very social cat as well.
That's true. And their independence, the American Shorthair, Their independent yet affectionate temperament makes them perfect for working households. So they are very independent. They can handle their day on their own. So if mom and dad are out working, it's no big deal because they're perfectly fine keeping themselves amused. Yet, a lot of times when you get a cat that is very independent, they're very much able to live on their own, they don't tend to be affectionate. They don't tend to be a cuddly, caring cat that shows a lot of affection or love or like comes up and, rubs their head on your leg and says, I like you. And temperament here means personality, right? What your temper is like. So if you have a fiery temperament, you tend to be somebody who's much more likely to get very quickly angry and someone who's going to spit out some pretty fiery comments very quickly. An affectionate temperament means a personality that is pretty friendly and cuddly and likes to get pets and likes to purr for you. So that's this cat. However, don't expect them to be lap cats all the time. So some cats are lap cats, just like some dogs are lap dogs. If you sit down, they want to be on your lap. They want your warmth. They want your cuddle. They want your attention. And they're going to sit on your lap or your computer or your book or whatever it is, or your phone, whatever it is you're trying to focus on. These cats are not that. They enjoy attention on their own terms, which is very much a cat personality, liking to do things on their own terms. They're very independent and free-thinking most of the time. To keep their thick coats in good condition, occasional brushing is recommended. Occasional means from time to time, on occasion, something that needs to be done. It's not like a special occasion, right? It's a very special occasion. It's Christmas. It's a holiday. But here, occasional means from time to time. Let's do something that we do from time to time and listen to our Chinese teacher one time.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天要带大家看很多不同种类的猫哦。因为其实大家可能最常养的就是狗狗啊，或者是喵咪。那这个猫啊，其实有很多不同的品种。品种英文这个单字啊，就出现在我们的 title 里面，叫做 breed， B-R-E-E-D。其实 breed 这个字如果当动词，本来就有培育的意思。那它在这里呢，则指的是品种。好，我们来看一下。在第一段，当然文章会先引入一下，猫咪就是我们算是很棒的一个伴侣，对不对？那陪伴我们的这个伙伴啊，在英文当中其实有很多的字。我们在第一段第一句看到第三个这个 companion 啊，这个 companion 是可以数的陪伴在你身边的人或者是宠物，都可以叫做 companion。可是这个字啊，其实还有另外一个叫做 company， C-O-M-P-A-N-Y。那 company 这个字我们一开始接触会被它是公司的意思公司，但它其实也有陪伴的意思。那这个陪伴或甚至是你身边的伙伴，都是集合名词不可数的用法哦。所以 company 指的是陪伴或者是伙伴，集合名词不可数。而一个一个陪伴在你身边的伙伴则会用 companion。那接着我们就要来看，我们今天要看3种不同品种的猫。那这3种不同品种的猫，甚至明天还会再另外介绍3种。那我们就要看这个文章啊，学习的重点就是所谓的描写。因为其实英文在写作当中啊，可以是描写，例如描写猫，描写你最爱的一个地点，描写你珍贵的一个事物，这个是描写。你可能会继续，也就是说故事，比如说过去某个经验啊，或者是某一个特定节庆如何如何。那另外还有说明或者是议论。可是其实我觉得对大家来说最困难的就是描写了，因为描写的时候我们可能要利用五官去描写看到的状况，听到的声音，尝到的味道，身体的感受，或者是心里的感觉，这都需要很多的形容词。好，所以我们接下来的重点，除非呢它的句型很复杂，要不然我们会特别把一些这个形容词特别挑出来。比如说第一种出现在第2段哦，就是美国短毛猫 The American Short Hair， 美国短毛猫。那它的个性如何呢？它其实是非常的冷静，但是它又很顽皮，所以在第2段第1句的地方啊，我们看到的形容词是 calm and playful， 用来修饰它的 nature， 它的天性就是这样。那接着呢，文章还告诉我们，这个美国短毛猫啊，适应力是非常强的。适应就是要调整修正，所以动词是 adapt， A-D-A-P-T。 在第2句的地方看到的形容词叫做 highly adaptable， 所以它在每一个环境都可以 thrive， 都可以长得很好哦。可是来到了第三句，第二段第三句就拥有了一个特殊的句型，叫做 not only but also。可是你看 not only 放在句首，它其实 not 是一个否定字，放句首的倒装。所谓倒装的意思就是动词在主词前面，看起来好像疑问句一样。所以我们看到句子是 not only are they gentle。 好，这是第一个重点。接着逗点之后啊，因为我们带着 but 但还如何如何，它是个句子哦，所以 also 一定会放在动词的前面。 They also do something， also do something。 那我们在这边看到像是 gentle 很温和啊， get along well with other pets 跟别的宠物呢相处的都很好。那在第四句当中特别注意一个关键字，叫做 temperament。 temperament 这个字啊指的是气质。那美国短毛猫的气质如何呢？在 temperament 前面有两个形容词，一个叫做 independent， 它很独立哦，但是独立的同时它却又非常的亲昵 affectionate， 它会表现出它的感情。好，那这个美国短毛猫要怎么照顾呢？就是偶尔要帮它梳梳毛哦。
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back. All right, we're moving into a new category or breed of cat. Elegant and laid-back Persian cats have charmed cat lovers for centuries. If someone is elegant, it means they hold themselves with a certain level of grace. Normally, if you see someone walking down the road and they're tripping on themselves or they're scratching their butt or they're sticking their finger up their nose, those are not very elegant things to do. But if you see someone who walks down the road and has a certain kind of flow as they move, you might describe that person as having a very elegant walk. A lot of times it's connected to royalty, although it's not always the case, but it's just about the way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you look, the way you express yourself, being a little bit more polite and friendly, or polite and knowing how to show grace. And laid back. So these Persian cats are elegant and they're laid back, which means they're very relaxed. If you're a laid back individual, you're very chill. You want to sit on the sofa and drink a cup of coffee and read a book and not jump up and down on the sofa like Tom Cruise did so many years ago on the Oprah show. Persian cats have charmed cat lovers for centuries. With their sweet expressions and long, luxurious fur, they represent both beauty and tranquility. So they're very, very luxurious in their long fur and their smushed-in face, and they represent or stand for both beauty and tranquility. Tranquility is such a fun word. It means peacefulness or mellowness or like peace. Just like if you think of a tranquil lake, it's not a lake with a lot of choppy waves. It's a very peaceful, smooth surface lake. It's kind of like my favorite word in the world, mellifluous. It comes off the tongue in the same way. Tranquility, something very, very peaceful.
Absolutely. Peaceful, elegant, laid back, like a ballet dancer on the weekend. Originating in ancient Persia, these cats require daily grooming to maintain their thick coats. Oh yes, unlike a ballet dancer, they're very hairy and very fluffy. But they're originating, that's where they come from back in history, in ancient Persia. It's in the name, Persian cats. Persia is, of course, the part of the world we call Iran these days. So kind of a Middle Eastern origin to these cats, but of course now they're found all over the world and very popular here in Taiwan. A lot of people like these kind of fluffy cats too. But of course, with that beautiful fluffy hair, these cats require daily grooming to maintain their thick coats. So that's sort of a buyer beware bit of information there. I think a lot of people complain about Persian cats and other similar hairy cats that they don't want them because the hair gets on the sofa and on your clothes and stuff like that. I think that's maybe because you're not doing the daily grooming. Grooming is kind of like brushing and cleaning. When you're brushing your hair, you're doing your personal grooming. It could also be many of the things you do in the bathroom to keep your body clean and looking nice, shaving for men, shaving their face or shaving your legs if you're a woman, and that's your style, combing, brushing, washing your hair, all that kind of stuff, making sure you look as attractive as possible and you keep yourself in decent physical condition. So as long as you brush a Persian cat, get a good brush and, do it regularly, I think they're actually not that bad as being a hairy cat. But it is one of those things that you have to consider. You're going to have to take care of it a little bit more than maybe some other breeds. But it says Persians are content to lounge for hours, making them excellent companions for those who prefer a quiet pet. So maybe if you're an older person, if you live alone, or if you're away from your home a lot, if you're a very busy person and you still want a cat, Persians might be less, grumpy when you come home. They might be content or kind of content is quietly happy, not overjoyed, not joyful, but like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything's okay. They're okay to lounge for hours. When you lounge, you're sitting around, you're doing nothing, you're Netflix and chilling on the weekend. A lounge can actually be another word for sort of a sofa or something like that. And to lounge is basically to not sleep, but just to be very relaxed. So imagine yourself at home in your comfy clothes, reading, listening to music, watching TV, playing around on your phone, just kind of taking it easy. So they're excellent companions for those who prefer a quiet pet, not an active pet, maybe not great for families with young kids, because if the young kids want to play with the cat, that might irritate a Persian cat a bit more. But for older folks, for professionals, for people who are busy and don't have all the time in the world to play with their pet, a Persian cat might be good. Just remember to do that daily grooming. It says, although loving, they are reserved, often requiring time to bond deeply with their families. That's some interesting information. So they can be very loving, very friendly, very affectionate. They will rub up against your legs and, jump on your lap to get a nice scratch, but it might take some time is what we're learning here. They are reserved. It's kind of like shy. It doesn't mean they don't like people. It just means it takes them a bit more time to warm up, to trust you, to feel that you're someone that they like to be around. Obviously, if they're very relaxed, they don't want you to be a very energetic person who's always jumping around and stuff like that. So they'll take some time to kind of assess you and judge you and figure out what you're like. But once they sort of warm up to you or bond deeply with you, they will, probably be your closest friend. That's also good information if you go to your friend's house and they have a Persian cat. Don't be surprised if the cat doesn't immediately walk over and sit on you or rub up against you. It's taking some time to kind of figure out who you are.
And while the Persians have that smooshed-in face and really, really long hair, our next cat has a completely fascinating coat of fur. So with their wild, leopard-like appearance, Bengal cats bring a touch of the jungle into your home. Leopard-like appearance means that you're seeing spots and you have these stripes on them too. If you see a Bengal cat in a distance, it will make you look because they are very, very distinct. Bengal being an area, I think it was the Indian subcontinent or something like that. It was later divided between Pakistan and India. I don't know that the name so much exists anymore.
The Bay of Bengal is just there below Bangladesh.
And if you're describing someone from Bengal, then they would say they are Bengali. I don't know if you would ever say a Bengali cat, but you'd say Bengal cats, I guess, for sure. And so they add a touch of the jungle. I guess there's quite a bit of jungle in the Bengal area to your home. Originally bred from Asian leopard cats, they have a muscular build and striking coats, like I've just mentioned, that grab attention, which I also just mentioned. If it's walking down the street, you're going to go, wow, because they are very striking in appearance. And they probably won't be walking down the street too much because someone might steal them, I would imagine. A muscular build, if someone has a lot of muscles or has a lot more muscles than the fat on their body, then they might be described as being muscular. A bodybuilder would be probably described as being muscular. Someone who does a contact sport like wrestling would probably need to be pretty muscular in their build the way they are built.
But not a sumo wrestler.
No, that's a unique difference, isn't it?
It's a little too much meat on a sumo wrestler. But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. Think of that, or The Rock or someone very muscular. Yeah.
Yeah, so despite their exotic looks, they are devoted, intelligent, and energetic. So you need to have some energy to keep up with these cats. Bengals love to explore, climb, and even play in water. What? We're talking about a cat. as we all know, cats normally are not big fans of water.
But tigers are.
Tigers
like
are
from the same part of the world.
Right?
That's
so these guys like to play in the water. So if you want a cat that likes the water, well, then they are delightful for active owners. People who, an active person would be someone who gets out a lot and does things out, maybe in nature, goes for walks, goes for hikes.
Often you see people on YouTube or the internet, and they have that cat on a leash. And
or on their shoulders,
hiking,
right?
And it rides on their shoulders, on their bike, and that kind of thing. Maybe that's a bit more the Bengal style.
And they're also curious, so they're interested in things around them. And they also have a very social nature, which means they like to meet other cats, other animals, probably other people. And this ensures, this guarantees, this makes very sure that they remain engaging companions, that they remain connected. Here, engaging means to be able to connect and, well, engage with another person, or in this case, you.
You or, your friends or maybe even other animals around the house, too. They might socialize with them.
Somebody that we always find very engaging is our Chinese teacher. Let's listen now.
接着在第3段，我们就来看第2种，就是波斯猫啦 ，Persian cats。波斯猫这个大家应该就觉得它看起来好像很优雅的样子。在第3段的第一句，先出现了 elegant 这个形容词。那 laid back 字面就是往后躺，往后躺的意思呢，就是放松啊，好像很慵懒的这种感觉。所以这个波斯猫它的形容词啊，跟美国短毛猫的形容词就不太一样咯。那当然好几百年来，我们大家都很喜欢这种波斯猫，因为好像感觉可以很 typical 的，就是有一种猫的个性出来。但其实呢，波斯猫是很甜美啦，然后它的这个毛发又很长，所以接下来我们看到第2句的 sweet expressions, long, luxurious fur， 这些都是用来修饰波斯猫。那特别注意第3句哦，第3句有个分词构句。我们看到第3句一开始是 originating 的 originate 是起源的动词。什么东西起源呢？动词 ing 就表示它是个分词构句。那谁起源啊？这个主词就会出现在逗点之后的 these cats。那很显然的，我们因为起源跟猫需要每天都要去好好的梳理它们的毛发，基本上只是把句子连在一起而已，所以它应该是逗点之后省略了 and， 而直接表现出波斯猫就起源于远古的波斯。所以这些猫咪啊，其实每天都要稍微梳理一下。那最后呢，美国的波斯猫呢，就要特别注意一下他们这个深厚的感情啊，虽然呢跟人很好，但是个性是比较矜持一点的。在最后面这一句，我们看到有一个字叫做 reserved。reserve 就有很保留保守的意思。好，那么最后我们来看一下第3种，就是 Bengal cat， 这个叫做孟加拉猫。孟加拉猫它真的是由亚洲的豹猫培育出来的哦，所以它的体格是很结实的，而且毛色是很令人瞩目的。我们在最后一段的第2句再把它抓出来，它也跟我们刚刚第3段的第3句一样是分词构句哦。但是虽然我们一开始看到的是副词originally， 真正的过去分词 bred 当然是被人培育嘛，这个分词 bred 是出现在第2个单字。好，分词构句啊，原本是被这个亚洲的这个亚洲豹猫啊，是这样子被培育出来的，逗点之后他们 they 才开始讲完整的这个句子。总而言之呢，体格很结实，然后呢毛色又令人瞩目。最后我们就特别补充说明一下，第4句要特别小心哦，逗点之后的 making 是 which makes， 关系子句的简化，可是 which 指的是逗点前面的整句话。也就是说，孟加拉猫喜欢探险啊，喜欢爬啦，在水中玩耍，这样子的状况就成为好动饲主的最爱。好，我们明天还会再看另外3种猫，我们明天见咯，拜拜。
So we know about cats, but we don't know about all the cats. So guys, if you want to know more about cats and other breeds of cats, come back and join us again tomorrow. For English Digest, I'm Leah.
And I'm Mike.
Bye.
Meow.